Hello everyone, Jobexi here, and welcome to Let's Play the Talos Principle. I realize that there's a great tower over here, but there lays something yet beyond. Could this be Temple D? It's a very tall tower. This reminds me of experience from so many games. No, this is an outpost, not a temple. Ooh. How did I bypass that? Is a fine question. So those are the three temples. What lie beyond? What lies beyond? What lay beyond? This place is vast. The same exact text as last time.
In the beginning were the words, and the words made the world.
Ooh, it gets louder the further you go.
Everything where the word.
Wow. Okay, so do I still have those? What is this? Whoa. That's funny. I didn't necessarily intend to, activate a console, but I did. Alrighty, there's only one place I haven't yet explored. It looks like there is an elevator that goes up through the tower. The tower is the one place I may not go. This must be the tower we were warned about. Seems the upper levels are locked tight. Elohim is taking no chances that we stray from his path. Sheep version 69.1.0576. Ooh, more. On returning from the tower, I feel a great tiredness and enormous energy. What I now know disturbs me, but I hope that living with this knowledge, I might provide a shoulder for you, the giants of tomorrow. The view from the top must be incredible? Question mark. It's probably a response to. There's a version 17 that made it here, but this is version 82.2. Further along than version 69. Clearly, excuse me, this is in reference to the tower built at Babel or Babel, depending on how you pronounce it. That tower, which in the Hebrew Bible was that tower where mankind wanted to build a tower that went up to heaven, and in so doing, the Elohim got grumpy and struck down the tower and what's the word? Confused everybody's language. Now that may be a myth and an allegory for the natural way that language changes over time, or it might actually be a thing. You know, it really depends on what you believe, I suppose. Let's take a look at some more of these. This is very interesting to me. The voice keeps speaking to me. I can't get it out of my head. It's wrong. It's all wrong. Of course, it's very funny. Digits are 666N. Very clever. Listen to me very carefully. I've climbed this tower and no good has come of it. The world is the only. This world. Okay, let me read it. This world is the only world. Okay, now we know that's not true. But, you know, this world is the only world. Elohim's will continues eternal, and paradise is banishing all of this from your mind. Samsara version 72. Okay, so that's an interesting concept. I'll leave you to think on that yourself. All who say they made it to the top are blatantly lying, or they would say what was there. Dog version 55. Of course, the zero it's a zero is what it is, but of course dog is God spelled backwards. It's very interesting. I'm not exactly sure what they're getting at. I'll leave you to ponder these things. Please leave in the comments what you think of any or all of this. I'm very intrigued. This game is beautiful and the music is almost chilling at times. Oh. I don't need to solve a puzzle? Okay, I don't actually, See, this strikes me as just being so very industrial. Excuse me. Which is clearly different from the ancient realm of the three temples. Of course, there's also an outpost. I am intrigued. It's all so very industrial and modern on the outside. Oop. Wish I could reach those islands in the distance, but it seems to be impossible. Ooh, another computer. Questioning Doubt. Keynote speech by N. Sarabhai, Questioning Doubt. They say doubt everything, but I disagree. Doubt is useful in small amounts, but too much of it leads to apathy and confusion. No, don't doubt everything. Question everything. That's the real trick. Doubt is just lack of certainty. If you doubt everything, you'll doubt evolution, science, faith, morality, and even reality itself. And you'll end up with nothing, because doubt doesn't give anything back. Questions have answers, you see. If you question everything, you'll find that a lot of what we believe is untrue, but you might also discover that some things are true. You might discover what your own beliefs are, and then you'll question them again and again, eliminating flaws, discovering lies, until you get as close to the truth as you can. Questioning is a lifelong process. That's precisely what makes it so unlike doubt. Questioning engages with reality, interrogating all it sees. Questioning leads to a constant assault on the intellectual status quo, where doubt is far more likely to lead to resigned acceptance. After all, when the possibility of truth is doubtful, excuse the pun, why not simply play along with the most convenient lie? A fine question. Let's talk about the partition. Hi folks, just to let you know, for reasons of convenience and security, we partitioned L into two separate systems. The Talos team will be working on EL0, while the Archive team will be working on EL1. You might also notice that the EL2 partition, but don't worry about that. It's just an operating system doing its things. Cheers, Rob. Sorry about that. Apparently some neighbors are outside doing yard work. Let's read about him. I believe the EL represents Elohim. Hey Alex, I agree that we need something that will keep all the modules working together, evaluate a final test, and I think I have a perfect solution. It's called the Holistic Integration Manager, HIM, all capital. A fancy name for something a lot like Dungeon Master in pen and paper RPGs. We created it to help run some MMOs back in the day. We needed something that would be able to unite procedurally generated and user-submitted content into a coherent whole, so the game wouldn't become too chaotic and inconsistent. It's a genuine AI, somewhat limited in its ability to grow, but capable of parsing and understanding text, images, audio, even video. It takes all the information it can find and interprets it, and then builds and maintains a world based on that. It's not perfect, but we don't have a lot of time, and it would be easy to adapt the code for our purposes. In fact, come to think of it, some of it's actually based on routines that you suggested in that paper on something very intriguing. So obviously, like in nearly all of my Let's Plays, I'm seeking to be very thorough. I don't want to miss out on anything. I guess B rather is the only temple I haven't checked behind, so I'll check behind that, and then we're going to get back into the game proper. I don't know whether I'm going to edit any of that out or how much of that I'm going to edit out to keep it, kind of condensed. I don't want this to drag on. But I would like to be kind of thorough. This game explores a lot of very interesting and very controversial topics for many. And so I'd like to kind of explore it at length without missing anything I can with ease find. Very intriguing. So many references and applied in a very interesting fashion. I'm not yet sure what this game is trying to say. So by that notion, I'm not necessarily sure whether it's saying it very well, I suppose. If I'm not sure what it's trying to say, how can it be saying it well? Notwithstanding, it's definitely an exciting exploration. I do wonder whether each of these temples is somehow different on the inside. Why is this one boarded up? That one's just a wall. That one...
There are mysteries in my garden, hidden roads and secret gates. If you dedicate yourself to understanding them, you may join the host of messengers.
Oh, I can go in this alcove. Well, that's pretty cool. Oh, ha! I can join the host of messengers. Like, you mean this guy and this guy? I've noticed, I don't know whether you've noticed, all of these statues don't have heads. Perhaps a more competent way of saying that would be, none of these statues have heads. I don't know what that's about. Host of messengers. Well, obviously, in the original Hebrew text in the Bible, that would be angel. Angel is a modern-day word referring to heavenly messengers. It looks like one of those is red, and there are 2 stars. I don't know what the stars mean, though. I'd like to. Okay. AI feedback. Oops, clicking the wrong button. We keep discussing what an artificial intelligence would mean to us and how it would change our understanding of the world. That's a great topic, and I think we've covered it extensively. What we've barely mentioned, though, is the other side of the coin. I mean, our lives would still be what they were before, AI or no AI. The question I think we should discuss, if it's at all, even if it's all hypothetical completely, is the perspective of the artificial intelligence itself. What would it be like to be that creature, to suddenly come into being, created by others as an experiment, to have all of the information about yourself, to know exactly how you function? What would you think about the world? Would you see meaning, beauty? How would you judge humanity? Where would you see yourself fitting into the grand scheme of things? I think we should try to put ourselves into the shoes of such a being. Dear Alexandra, thank you for your feedback, but this is a philosophy course, not science fiction. And that's why I almost gave up on my studies. The notion that an artificial intelligence could feel and think is to date widely controversial and relegated to the realms of science fiction. But there's nothing about intelligence that we have that makes it any more artificial than the intelligence that we could create. And I suppose that's all I'll say on that for now. So let's talk to Stratton of Stegeria, or Stegeria. Stratton was a Greek materialist philosopher associated with the Peripatetic school. An admirer of Aristotle, he was a proponent of empiricism and a fierce critic of philosophy that placed belief before observable truths. Though unpopular with many of his peers for his often acerbic personal manner, his commentaries on Aristotle were considered an important work. Much of his writing was lost in the destruction of the library at Alexandria. Team leads. We're blessed to have so many people contributing to this project, but we've got to make sure everyone's on the same page. Please refer to the following people when, Oops, whoa, whoopsies. I apologize. Okay, so these are all the people who are... Okay, Rob McLean's in charge of L Software. Trevor's in charge of L Hardware. George Jameson is the generation model. Okay, so... Oh! What if we, the protagonist, are this AI? That they're trying to... Okay. We're still being developed. The generation module would be that which combines the different aspects of each generation. And for some reason, if you go up the tower, your generations cease, or at least that's the threat. That you don't get to have your... But what if it's the other way around? What if he's lying, and that's the only way that our generational code... We'll find out. Scenario module, simulation module. We have no idea what Radia Brickmont was working on. Diagnostics, memory module, file system was Jared V. Shmilev. Sun Wei Yang was the Talos unit, formerly Soma. Those of you who have not played the game Soma, I actually don't necessarily recommend that you play it. It's a good game. If you're into that style of game, I recommend that you play it. If you're not into that style of game from a playing standpoint, I still highly recommend that you would catch a Let's Play of it or watch somebody else play it in some capacity, because it is, at the very least, experience what this game has to discover. Though not directly a part of our project, the archive team is sharing both physical and digital space with us. If there are any technical issues to resolve, please contact their project lead, Arkady Chernyshevsky. Don't worry, he's nice. Very interesting. Okay, it looks like there are 4 pieces here. What is this? I hear it ticking. Oh, because it's a clock. Oh, it's a 24-hour clock? That's interesting. Certain things are still glitching. I thought I saw something while I was reading the computer, but I guess it must have been a trick of the light. Alright, let's go. There's one of these which is green, right? Let's go do that one first. Get it out of the way. These environments are just so serene. It's beautiful. Alright, stashed for later. The first thing I like to do when I play puzzle games like this is explore and see what my initial resources are. I guess that's the exit. I'm fairly certain it wants me to take this, but I would explode. So that can't be what it wants me to do early on. Alright, what's this? Keys? That's a new item. Keys. What are keys good for? I mean, historically and typically, keys are used for unlocking things, but what in this context would I use a key for? Well, it's nice that it beeps to let you know that you're about to be destroyed before it actually goes and destroys you. Thank you so very much for watching this episode of Let's Play the Talos Principle. If you like what you see, you can click this button right here to be taken to the playlist. You can click my name to be taken to my channel, where you can check out my other content, or you can click subscribe if you like what you see to be notified when I produce more excellent content. Thanks so very much for watching, and I will see you in the comments.